Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, entitled landlord makes decisions for the communal stairwell and wants us all to pay for it. 2 tables for 1 person. Another lunch thief. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled landlord makes decisions for the communal stairwell and wants us all to pay for it. I was just reminded of a letter I had through the door a few years ago from my neighbor's entitled landlord. I'm not allowed to post a picture of the letter, so I'll type it here for you after I give some context. Context: I live in a flat, in a block of 6. We all get on well with each other, take turns cleaning the communal stairwell, etc. Every year, a couple of swallows come to nest and lay eggs above one of the corner pipes in the stairwell. We all love watching them and take turns to clean up the nest when the babies have all gone after a few weeks. At the time of the letter, the landlord next door had bought the place a few months prior and had turned it into a short-term holiday let place before a couple moved in long-term. They're still here and lovely people. We also pay a gardener to cut our part of the communal garden, and had been asking him to do next doors as well, no cost for the landlord. Hope that's understandable. Now on to the letter. Nesting birds. Hi, I own flat and recently did an inspection of my tenanted property. I noticed that there are nesting birds in the stairwell and would like to coordinate our actions to remove them. Not only is their nest and waste unsightly, it also carries harmful bacteria and damages the fabric of the building. I have consulted a trusted pest control company who have suggested removing the nest and spraying the area. Their view is there is no need to install spikes, rather keep an eye out in case they return next year. The cost of removal and cleaning is £85 plus VAT. I will coordinate payment and organize and supervise the work. Please forward your share of the payment £17 to me at bank account or by check. Name: by October 11, 2019. I will provide a receipt and a copy of the invoice for the work once payment is received. Many thanks. Name and phone no. A few days later, the birds were all gone anyway, and another neighbor cleaned it all up until it sparkled. He didn't want £85 for it. Also, we were petty and told the gardener to only cut our part of the garden. Isn't disturbing nesting birds illegal? You're right, it is where I am anyway. Neighbor should send him a bill for £85. He was actually considering it. I was also considering sending a bill for the earplugs I had to buy when it was a holiday let, and for cleaning the vomit in the stair from one of her guests. Did someone inform her of the law regarding these nesting birds? Where I am, each bird will have a law regarding how they are treated, especially if they are lower in numbers or even an endangered species. Penalties can be quite high for violations, although they are not normally enforced, but just the fact the law is there is a deterrent to most people. After all of the entitled owners, managers, and neighbors' stories/experiences posted here, it is so gratifying to hear of a community, however small, where everyone works together, has the same goals, protects wildlife, and enjoys their shared experiences while living in close proximity. Those details made your post so much nicer to read. Thank you. I hope you continue to have good neighbors. 2 tables for 1 person. Just a quick vent. So, I'm a mom to a 17-mo, and for my me time, I go hang out at a Starbucks to just relax. I currently live in a college town, so it is not uncommon to see students studying and working in the Starbucks as well. However, there are 2 separate college students each using 2 tables for themselves. That's a total of 4 tables being used. I personally think this is so rude and entitled. Do you really need all that space for yourselves? Ugh, so inconsiderate. Starbucks management is there. They will get you a table. Management doesn't care when there are plenty of tables. When it is busy and other paying customers need a table? They care. Give management a chance to both take care of your need for a table and to teach these children for the price of a cup they don't own the joint. That's fine and all, but I would ask the students to move their stuff off one of the tables before I looked for a manager, because maybe they are thinking that if no one asks, no one needs it. I wrote half my master's thesis in a coffee shop, but I used a very small table and that's it. I agree, it's inconsiderate. I'm a student. I like to study in Costa. I do take up a 4-chair table with my books. But I leave when they start getting busy. I don't live in an area with a large student population though. This Costa isn't local to the college. One of the local coffeehouses enforces a strict 1-hour time limit for students if they aren't buying anything else. It's a few miles from the university, and prior to this rule, students would take up tables for hours, sometimes buying only one drink, but sometimes not. Another lunch thief. As the theme seems to be lunch thieves. Years ago, I worked in a factory. We had a worker's lunchroom with the usual fridge to keep stuff cool and a microwave to make stuff hot. Not much else. For years there had been no problems with folks' food. It was simple, only touch what is yours, no exceptions. Jono was a big guy and a bit of a mad lad, as the Brits would say. He worked hard and played hard. He was a big fan of those sweet salty type energy drinks and always kept a supply in the fridge. Evidently, he noticed his supply was disappearing faster than he drank them. Being a decent bloke, he first asked all of us if anyone had been at his stuff. No results. He then put a sign on the fridge warning of dire consequences for the thief when caught. The note disappeared after 1 day. This was mystifying as none of us removed it. Come Friday, we are all sitting around on lunch. Sometimes the manager, Bob, and junior manager, affectionately known as Jeremy the Shitstain, would join us on Fridays for camaraderie and all that. The subject of the drink thief and the missing sign came up in conversation. Everyone expected Jono to be upset at the goings on, but he just sat there and smiled until the manager asked him directly about it. "Oh, I think that problem is solved," he said with a smile. "I now keep my drinks in a cooler in my car. Whoever has been taking those drinks in the fridge has been drinking my piss for nearly a week now." There was a moment's silence before the entire break room erupted in laughter, all except Jeremy the Shitstain, who looked a bit green. Jono had been taking a big swig from each bottle, then replacing the difference with his piss before adding the bottle to his store in the fridge. I guess those energy drinks were extra salty. Yum yum. The icing on the cake was that Bob refused to do anything about it. After all, if Jeremy had kept his greedy paws off other people's stuff, it would not have happened, and if Jono wanted to dilute his drinks that only he should be touching, then he was not harming anyone else. Jeremy pretty much lived in his office after this. Wow, I did not expect that solution. That's amazing. Thievery of food/drinks has to be met with overwhelming force. Jeremy didn't expect that solution either. Until it ended with just a trickle. At least he was able to shake off the incident with a smile. I bet he was pissed off after hearing that. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.